This channel is supported by my online fishing courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner, as well as my books, including my latest book, Fishing the Edge, Techniques and Tales from Surf, Boat, and Kayak. You can learn more about the books at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon. Okay, this is going to be cool. In one of the areas where we fish off eastern Long Island for fluke, also known as summer flounder, we see all kinds of fish on the fish finder, big clouds of them. We wonder what on earth is down there. So I'm going to go and use two different underwater cameras, and one of them is a brand new camera. It's called a Canfish Fishing Cam X, and we're going to test that. But yeah, we're going to see, I'm actually going to get 12 species of fish on this, and oh my goodness, it's incredible the life that's down there. So, all right, before we get into the actual video, I just want to show you the two cameras that I'm using and how I've got it set up. Okay, real quick, I'm going to show you the cameras that I used. This is an older camera. It's called a Go Fish Cam. They don't make them anymore, so there's a disadvantage. Hey, in either case with these cameras, everybody uses them a little differently. The way I use them, I need to stabilize them a little bit because of currents and stuff. So, yeah, take a ruler, cut it in half, make a little airplane out of it, and that seems to work. So, basically, you attach your line here, and then you've got a lure situation like this. And yeah, drag it through the water. So now this is the camera I wanted to highlight. It's a new camera. It's called a Canfish. It's a Fishing Cam X Canfish, made by Chasing. They also make drones. And yeah, this is nice. It's got some advantages over this one. If you want to, first of all, it has a storage card, micro SD. You've got to open it up to get in there and deal with that and to turn it off and on. With this, you don't need to do that. It's all sealed up. You've got a power switch here. You've got internal video storage. A really nice thing is that it's wireless. And that meant in between drifts, I could pull up the phone app and I could see what was on the camera and make adjustments like the length of the leader and things like that. And or you can see what fish are down there. So that's really good. Other things that come with the camera, this is for a float, so that you could have it pointing like that down into the water, and it's got a charger because like I said, you never have to open it up. So basically this goes in here like that and you're good to go. All right, I will have a link to this camera in the video description. Let's go see what we saw with it. Okay, I almost forgot a kind of an interesting feature on this, which was very interesting to one of the 12 species of fish that I recorded with this, is that it detects low light and reacts to it. So if I cover this up, in theory it's going to turn, there it goes, it turned on its green lights. Yeah, I have found a fish that's very interested apparently in these green lights. So, all right, we'll get to that. Okay, we're going to start off with that older camera, the black one, the Go Fish Cam, and I'm doing that because the gray one is a new camera to me, and I don't know anything about it, so I wanted to make sure that I definitely got video because I have really good conditions this trip, and I didn't want to risk not getting the video. So let's start with that. A couple things. I'm not trying to catch fish, so that is there's a hook protector on this. This is a Jigging World Fluke Candy teaser. In this case, I have just a strip of pork rind on there. That's not something they should be really looking to eat, not without jigging motion. Of course, you can't put jigging motion on it because then you would, oh, there goes a bluefish. So we're already seeing what, sea bass, porgies, bluefish. So yeah, going to see a lot of things here. But all right, yeah, I don't want to hook the fish because then you just hook the fish, you get herky-jerky video, and but I want to attract them, and this seems to work. And what I'm going to do is at some point I'll stop talking. We're just going to let this run, but let me give you a little more background here. And I'll have a link to that newer camera in the video description, along with a discount code so my viewers can get 15% off on that. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, this is about 50 feet of water, so plenty of light, especially with the clear water like this. We're actually using the trolling motor to troll, so we're going roughly 1 mile an hour, slightly under that. At times, especially when the camera's near the bottom, it looks like we're going faster, but we're not. It's only about 1 mile an hour. So it's your typical fluke or summer flounder fishing drift. Okay, so both of these cameras will record the background noise underneath the water. So when I'm not narrating, that's what you're going to hear. As always on my channel, there will not be any music. I know people would put music to this, and I'm not going to do that. So I haven't recorded video in this particular area before, and I got to tell you, it's going to change the way I fish it. And yeah, I'll explain why as we go along. All right, so I'm going to mostly be quiet now. I'll jump in here and there. One of the things I'm going to ask viewers is, I just saw one go by. I think I'm seeing pinfish on this, and that surprises me because we don't catch them. I think of them as more of a Florida fish. But yeah, some of these things that might look like porgies, there's a porgy, but yeah, we're going to see some what I believe are pinfish. I think I'm going to stop on one of them to get a good look at it. And by the way, that Canfish cam can go down to 646 feet, and it has a battery life of about 140 minutes. Oops, target species coming in right here. All right, and this is a fishing trip. We're up in the boat. We are catching these. So when you see a fish, a fluke or a summer flounder like that, come in and then move off to the side, we have bouncing jigging rigs. You will get to see those at some point out of the frame. And so that's what those fish are doing. They're looking at this, but then they're going after one of our rigs. So like I said, this is eastern Long Island, but there are many areas on the East Coast that have this kind of structure. This is a good example of why we would never, ever put squid down or that kind of bait when trying to catch fluke, because there's just too many what we would call interference fish. There's so much life here. You put squid down, all these little things are going to be all over it. You would never catch the better fish that you're trying to get. We use bucktails and gulp jigging rigs, and that filters out most of these smaller ones, lets us catch the better fluke. So sometimes I'll re-drop to the bottom to make sure I'm there, or I'm going to hit a rock or something, and the camera will tilt up, and when you look way up in the water column, you see all these cylindrical fish up there. Those are mackerel. All right, for people who don't know, those darker ones here, those are sea bass. The shinier ones that are just a little smaller than that, those are porgies. Yeah, we'll get through them as we go along. Like I said, I counted 12 species. There might be more. All right, near the bottom you can see a bouncing rig. That's one of the anglers up in our boat. We'll see better looks at that. And right now you can hear a boat going by. Or I've let it go slightly higher in the water column. Here comes a mackerel because the mackerel are up higher. Okay, right near the bottom there's a sand shark, and if you use like any kind of oily baits, stripped mackerel, bluefish, you're going to end up catching a lot of those. All right, I got the leader line hooked on that stabilizer on the camera, but it's going to work out great. Okay, so I've put a strip of sea robin on that hook now instead of a strip of pork rind. So this is something that some of the fish will actually eat then. The pork rind, not so much. It's more of a visual thing. Hey, you see there's a bouncing bucktail rig over to the right. That's my friend Rick's rig, and we're going to see that a few more times. Remember, there's a hook protector here, so that's going to come right out of his mouth like it did. Didn't matter that fish. He's going to come right back for it. Okay, here comes a blowfish, also known as a puffer fish. Okay, so this is the new camera now. This is the one that's actually available. The previous camera they do not sell anymore. One of the things they do is they certainly filter out the audio a little better, but there'll be some other things. Like I mentioned, I was able to, between drifts, open up my phone app for this camera and look at the video that was recorded, and that was very helpful because I could see what was around. Yep, obviously video quality looks good here, and the colors are more natural as compared to the other camera, and I think that's because there's like that green light that I showed in the beginning. That thing would have kicked on automatically as the camera descended. Oh, nice blackfish right there. Some bluefish right there, and we actually didn't catch any bluefish on this. You know, we caught um, fluke and we caught sea bass and other things, but no bluefish. Um, all right, so the leader's a little bit short right now, and I'm going to be able to correct that because I'll use the phone app in between drifts to see what the video looks like. That phone app also lets you see how much battery is left, and it lets you control the light, a bunch of things. So yeah, this camera has got big advantages over the older camera that I started with. Yeah, a little upside down here. We'll get straightened back up again. Okay, so this is interesting. A triggerfish is going to come in. Here he is, great triggerfish. I didn't see any triggers with the Go Fish cam, but this one's got that green light, and we're going to get to see this. There's going to be one fish in particular that is clearly pecking at the camera. Um, I saw way more triggerfish. Actually, just about all of them that I saw were all with this camera because I believe that the light was attracting them, and we're drifting through the same areas, so both cameras got to see the same section of bottom. But yeah, this camera with those lights definitely seemed to attract the triggerfish. So yeah, I got to figure out how to exploit that while fishing because I'd like to catch those. They're very tasty. Okay, a triggerfish is going to come in. This is the one that's going to peck repeatedly at the camera. All right, there's nothing else there that it had to be the light. I don't know what else could have attracted him. And yeah, we're going to see more of that too. All right, these are those things I think are pinfish. Those are not porgies. I see a lot of pinfish in Florida. It's that. I mean, yeah, what do people think? Pinfish? I don't know what else it could be. There's a big skate laying on the bottom there. We actually caught a bunch of those on a previous trip, but not this trip. Yeah, amazing. No triggers with the older camera. Lots of triggers with this canfish cam with the light on it. And there's Rick's bouncing fluke rig. He gets more action on that rig than we thought. That looks very good. Yeah, I might explain why he's been catching so well lately. So that was interesting to see. All right, just switch from that white pork rind strip to a sea robin strip, and another sea robin hits it. Okay, a big quality blackfish right there. So it looks like Rick's got a small sea bass hanging off his jig there, and I don't think he knows it. He's still jigging. Come on, set the hook. All right, we're back to that older discontinued Go Fish cam. You'll see, yeah, things are just a lot more green. You'll hear a lot more background noise, but yeah, we're gonna still get some really good video with this too. All right, so there was a fluke there behind that sea robin, but in general, yeah, by far, I attracted way more fluke over the rocky structure than over the sand. I mean, you're seeing not all of the video I recorded here, but I can tell you the sand was almost a waste. But in the rocky stuff, yeah, that's where the fluke were. Okay, thanks to my friend Rick for getting me out on his boat so I could record this video, and I hope you enjoyed this view of what's down below. And again, I'll have links. I'll have a link to the camera in the video description along with a discount code. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Check out my online courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner. Don't forget my books, including my latest book, Fishing the Edge, Techniques and Tales from Surf, Boat, and Kayak. And you can learn more about the books at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon.